Welcome to Ethical Engineering YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about the validation of convergence theory using ANSYS Workbench. Now, what is convergence theory? In FEM, that is finite element method, we studied the convergence theory. It states that if you increase the number of nodes, the accuracy of the problem will be also increases. Okay. Now, how can I know if I increase the number of nodes, that is, if I increase the calculation point, how that accuracy will be improved? Let us take one circle here. Consider this circle has some area. Let's say is 100. Now I'm going to apply that in the FEM method. Like we are going to discretize this area, right? So for area means what we have to use a two-dimensional element, right? For minimum that minimum number of nodes which have the two-dimensional element is a triangular element, right? So because without three sides I can't able to cover the area. Minimum I record three sides to cover the area. Now I'm going to cover this circle using the three lines. You can see now I'm covering this circle with using the three lines. You can see that area covered by this triangle is not equal to that area of the circle, right? Because so many gray areas. These areas I'm not covering. Suppose if I'm increase the number of sides, let's say I'm using the quad element, using that to cover that circle, means that gray area, right? That area is not covered will be less compared with that this. Okay. Now let us say if I'm again increasing the number of lines, let's say I'm using the 6 lines. Now that area covered by the 6 lines will be gradually increased. Okay. Now if let's say I'm increasing into 8 lines. Now that area covered using the 8 lines and the area of the circle is approximately somewhat comes near to that value. From that what we are going to get, if you increase the number of lines means that accuracy will be increases, right? Now I'm going to plot this into that graphical method. You can see that exact value in my condition that area of the circular is 100, right, in my assumptions. So that this is the theoretical value, it is 100, the red line. Now initially I put three sides. Whatever the value I get, the area is, let's say, is a 41. It is not matched with that exact value. Okay, there are lot of difference will be there. Now I'm going to use that number of nodes, that is number of sides I increased here. That 4 sides somewhat better result I get, and again I increased 6. Again that is the value is increased. Like that I'm going to increase the number of sites at certain point, that up to the 32 sites if I use I get 99. So from that graph you can understand if we increase the number of sites, number of nodes, that accuracy will be increases. This is what the convergence theory states. Okay, now we are going to prove this convergence theory, like how to apply this convergence theory in practical way. Now for that I'm going to take one problem and solve this problem in theoretical as well as in using ANSYS Workbench. I'm going to solve this problem and I'm going to match those results. So the problem statement I have taken is that the plate with hole problem. So this is the plate and dimensions is given, that length of the plate. So for example, that whole length of the plate will be 200 mm because it is a 2L, and the width of that plate has to be 100, and the radius of that diameter of that circle will be 40 mm. Okay, and the force applied in the plate is 10,000 Newton, that is 100 Newton per mm square. Okay, here it's a force is equal to 100 Newton per mm square. It is a pressure force. Okay, so in FEM what I am going to do means I am going to apply the like a tensile force. I am going to convert that pressure force into like a point load. So for that I am going to apply that force, means like I am going to multiply with the area, that is the force is applied is 100, and the area here it is that the cross sectional area is that width, that is 2h, that is 2h is 100 into the thickness of the plate. The thickness of the plate here it is given by 1 mm. Okay, so 100 into 1 is called 1. Okay, so if you multiply with force into area, that is 100 and 100, you will get the value of 10,000 Newton. So the force applied in that plate is 10,000 Newton. And the cross-sectional area, about this point, wherever that middle of that plate, that is that at the middle of the circle, if you take the area means, so I'm going to area means like this is the area, and this area, this part. The rest of the part will be don't have, because it will be removed, because it's a hole, right? So I'm going to calculate the area about this point. So for that, what I'm going to do is the total h distance, that is 2h minus the 2r, multiply with the thickness, you will get a 60 mm square. The area of the plate at the middle of the plate, it will be 60 mm square. Whereas in this region, that area is, it's 100. Now I'm going to calculate the stress. What are the stress produced in that plate? We know that wherever that we solve that plate with hole problem, the maximum stress is produced. That is, the stress concentration is maximum about that whole region. See, here I'm going to calculate the stress intensity factor, that is the stress concentration factor. We know this formula, that is we called as the stress intensity factor is denoted by K, and for that problem the K value, not to calculate the K value, this is the formula. So using this formula, I calculate the K value, that is whatever the value I get through using this formula, the K is equal to 2.2357 is the value I'm getting. And we already know for axial problem, the stress is equal to force by area, right? Here the what are the forces applied is just 10,000 Newton is applied, and here the area, that is the area of this region, because here only that stress will be produced, right? So the area is 60. So the 10,000 Newton divided by 60, if you do that means I'm getting that the value of the stress is 166.667 is the nominal stress is produced. So I'm going to calculate the maximum stress, because the stress concentration factor also it's involved in the contributing the maximum stress. We know that. So the sigma max is equal to stress concentration factor into nominal stress. So this is the formula for calculating the sigma max, and we are going to multiply that the nominal stress into that K value. If I multiply with it, I will get the maximum stress of 372.6167 megapascal. So this is the theoretical value I get. Now I'm going to solve this problem in ANSYS Workbenches. Now I open that ANSYS Workbenches. I'm selecting that static structural analysis. So by default, if you check the engineering data, by default it will be like a structural steel will be present. Okay, in this library I'm using the structural steel only, so no need to change the metal property. If you want to change the metal property, you can change this metal property. Now I'm keep that metal property as a structural steel. Here I'm going to click on the W on the geometry, because here I'm going to create the geometry, that is the plate I'm going to create, that is the plate with hole I'm going to create here in this designer model workbenches. If you double click the geometry, the designer model workbench will, the designer model workbench is open now. Now I'm going to select the XY plane and right click and click on the look at. Now I'm going to create a sketch, like I'm going to create a circle here, and before that you have to change the unit. It is into um, here I'm using the all in mm, so I convert all in here mm. After converting to mm, click on the center point and click this circular here and click on the rectangle and create a rectangle. Okay, now I'm going to give the dimensions. So dimension general, if you click the circle image, you will get that d1 value, and the uh, circle, that is the rectangular dimensions. Okay, So for V2, it is problem the vertical, this distance is too much, that is 100. So here the V2 is 100 and H3 is 200 and L4 uh, is 50 and L5 is 100. And the diameter, right, the diameter is 40. Okay, now we created the geometry, so click on the generate. Now the sketch will be created. If you see that in modeling in XY that sketch will be created, you can see the tick mark is present. Now I'm going to convert the sketch into the surface area, so I'm using that concept and surfaces from sketches and click on the sketch here and apply, and here I'm going to give the thickness is 1 mm thickness and then create the geometry. Now the geometry is created. After that you can close this workbench, and in this ANSYS workbench you can see that in geometry there is a tick mark, that means the geometry is created perfectly. Then click on the model, that mechanical workbench will open. There we have to discretize that structure and we have to apply that elemental property, and then we have to apply that load and boundary condition and we solve this problem, and then we can view the results and compare those results with the actual. Now the designer mechanical workbench is open now, so you can verify that if you click on the surface body you can see that is the thickness will be 1 mm and the material is assigned here, the structural steel is assigned to this surface. Now I'm going to mesh the structure. So in order to mesh the structure I'm going to uh, do the mesh by two parts, like, and first of all I'm going to mesh the structure purely based on the triangular element, and using the triangular element I'm just going to increase the number of nodes and I'm going to compare this value. The same way I'm using that chord element and I'm going to gradually increase the number of nodes and I'm going to compare those results. So first of all, in order to create the triangular elements, I'm going to right click on the mesh and insert method here and select the geometry and apply. Here I'm going to select as the triangles. After that, you can click on the mesh options. You can see in the sizing, okay, and click that the mesh has to be like, let's say, coarse mesh itself. I'm going to generate mesh. I'm going to give. You can see the mesh is generated here, and you can see the number of nodes present in this structure is the 119. 119 nodes are present in this model. Now I'm going to select on the edges and this right click. I'm going to, that is, insert fixed support, because I'm going to create a fixed support here and one edge is selected here. Okay, so fixed support is created. Now I'm going to select this edge and I'm going to right click, insert the force. Now the force is applied here. The value is, the magnitude is 10 and 10,000 Newton is load applied in the right, in the y direction. So I'm going to change the components here. That component is x component, so I'm going to apply the x component value 10,000 Newton. Okay, the load applied in the right word. Now in this solution I need that equivalent stress value, that is one mesh stress I'm going to correlate. So I'm going to solve this problem. Now the stress will be calculated. If you click on the equivalent stress, you can find the stress. The maximum stress produced in this structure it will be 236.05. Okay, so I'm going to mark the value. That is how I'm using the triangle element. The number of node I used is the 119. The stress value I get for that 119 node is 236.05 megapascal I'm getting. Okay, now I'm going to increase the number of nodes here. In order to do that, I'm going to click on the mesh, insert, refinement options. I'm going to select this geometry again. Here I'm going to refinement is one times refinement. I'm going to do that. So here I'm going to update this geometry. Okay, once the updation is completed, you can see the number of nodes will be increased, right? You can see that in statistics now the number of nodes is 428 nodes. Okay, now I'm going to solve the problem again by clicking on the solve options. Now if you click on the equivalent stress, you can see now the stress produced in the structure is 303.76. I'm going to mark it here. It's a at 428 nodes the stress produced here is the 303.76 megapascal, right? Again I'm going to increase the number of nodes here. Right, I'm going to in refinement I'm going to edit as a 2 times refinement, and again I'm going to update it. After that, if we check that how many number of nodes is available, right here I'm using the number of nodes is 927 nodes. Okay, and again I'm going to solve this problem. See, if you increase the number of nodes means you're increasing the number of the time to calculate the problem also it will be increases, because if you increase the one nodes, that means that the global stiffness matrix is also it will be increased based on that degrees of freedom it is allotted for one node. Okay, so if your number of nodes is increases means that final global stiffness matrix also it will be bigger, and that solving those global stiffness matrix it takes time. So if you increase the number of nodes, the calculating time for the solving the problem also it will be increases. Now if you check this stress means you can see that stress will be 329.17 megapascal. 329.17 megapascal. Again I'm going to increase that refinement of number 3 refinement I'm going to give, and I'm going to update it geometry. Once this updated, you can see the mesh will be is more now, and the number of nodes is 1616, that is 1616 nodes is present in this model. Now I'm going to solve this problem. If you check this value means here that whatever the stress I get is the 340.67 megapascal is I'm getting. Okay, for 1616 nodes the 340.67 megapascal I get. So for this also it's not matched with that theoretical value. So I'm going to increase again the stress. I'm going to increase that stress. In order to do that, what I'm going to do means like I'm going to mesh into like a finer mesh I'm to use, and I'm going to update that geometry. So you can get so the number of nodes. So I have used like that. I'm using that 3 lakhs 22,480 nodes I used and I solved this problem, the value I get is the 373.97 megapascal I'm getting. Okay, so here this is I'm not performing in that analysis because that the calculating time for those this kind of element will take a lot more time for analyzing purpose. Okay, so I just explained here. For here, I'm used the 3,22,418 nodes I used. The value, the stress value I get is the 373.97. So it will be close with this theoretical value here. Okay, the same thing. I'm going to use the same problem for the quad element also. For the quad elements, if I use that number of nodes is 106 nodes, the stress value I get for this is the 288.07 megapascal. Now I am again increasing the number of code elements by applying that refinement value. If I apply the refinement value, the number of nodes is 376. The value for the 376 nodes will be the 346. And if you find any useful information in this video, please like this video and share this video to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe this channel. Thank you.